It's time for Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. And now your host, J. Bryan Nugen, estate planning and elder law attorney.
Good morning, and welcome to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. I'm attorney J. Bryan Nugen, founder of Nugen Law, and your host for our program. The purpose of our show is to have weekly, in-depth conversations about matters relevant to folks as they walk down the path of successful aging. Our listeners will learn what it is to age with dignity and how best to protect their money. I've been practicing law for 3 decades. I'm licensed to practice in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida, and actively represent clients in all 4 states. My practice, the attorneys, and our interdisciplinary team of professionals who practice with me concentrate on working with clients in estate planning and elder law and areas related to them, such as protecting money from nursing home stays, securing benefits from programs like Medicaid and the VA Veterans Administration, geriatric care coordination, estate and trust administration, guardianships, and planning for those with special needs. Nugen Law sees clients in many stages of life, but commonly we have folks reaching out when they or a loved one are showing signs of needing help. Those signs may include a chronic ailment or progressive decline, before, during, or after hospitalization, an instance of incapacity, caregiver burnout, right? It's just so difficult to care for mom, dad, or our loved one, our partner, or our spouse, stress on family members due to some or all of those instances I just mentioned. As a reminder, Nugen Law represents clients in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida. Nugen Law takes a life care planning approach to client representation, meaning that not only do our attorneys prepare any legal instruments appropriate for your unique situation without additional cost, our clients have access to our affiliated CPA firm for preparation of their tax return, are invited to our client-only educational opportunities, and have access to our Medicare specialist, who advises on what Medicare plan and supplemental plan to secure. The ability to have our legal documents, or rather your legal documents, revised as necessary and when appropriate, unlimited access to our elder care coordinator. So our ECC elder care coordinator is a person who assists with whatever help our clients may need as they age, including setting tours of various facilities, arranging for help in client homes, which will be relevant for our guest today, Care in the Home, a personal service agency, TrueCare in this instance, arranging moving and downsizing and advocating for Nugen Law clients when necessary. If you hear something in today's broadcast which resonates with you, an area in which we may be able to help, please call Nugen Law at 260-925-3738, speak with one of our intake specialists, and schedule a meeting for either our Fort Wayne or Auburn locations. You are also encouraged to see us online at www.nugenlaw, that's N-U-G-E-N, nugenlaw.com. For today's program, I want you to learn about how you can remain in your home as you age for as long as possible, if not indefinitely, with appropriate and personalized attendant care. Further, if it no longer makes sense for someone to remain in their home, there is an alternative to a nursing home or a memory care unit, and that's called a TrueCare home. So years ago, I had a Nugen Law client who was experiencing increasing physical limitations. She was trying to find people to come into her home to provide care for her. She was finding private caregivers in the community, etc. Unfortunately, the caregivers she found were taking advantage of her financially, had been found drinking on the job, frankly, had been misappropriating or taking some of her assets from her home, etc. So her physical limitations and lack of adequate care resulted in her being admitted to a nursing home for rehabilitation, and after that was finished, she needed to remain in the nursing home as she had no one to care for her at home. So she had a child, but the child lived out of state. My client reached out to me, desperate to return home. It broke my heart. So I realized there was a need for quality vetted care providers. It was then, in 2011, that I formed a company named TrueCare. TrueCare is a state of Indiana Department of Health licensed personal service agency. The agency was formed to provide non-medical care for folks like I just mentioned. So back in 2011, I thought I would have a small workforce of able-bodied care providers for a few seniors needing help to stay in their own houses. Well, let me tell you, I completely underestimated the demand for quality care. Since 2011, we have provided care for hundreds of clients and have employed dozens of caregivers for residents of Allen, DeKalb, Steuben, LaGrange, and Whitley counties, Noble County as well. So my guest for today is Mrs. Patty McGill. Patty is the manager director of TrueCare Seniors and TrueCare Homes. Those are the homes for residents that typically have some level of a cognitive impairment, like a dementia, in which no more than 4 residents live, with an on-site caregiver attendant 24 hours a day. So, before talking about our care homes in detail, I would like to discuss TrueCare Seniors with you. So, Patty, welcome aboard.
Hi, Bryan.
I appreciate you being here. What types of services do your caregivers attendants with TrueCare Seniors provide to your clients?
Being a home care agency, we provide light housekeeping, meal prep, medication reminders, shower assistance, dressing, grooming. We can run errands with them. We can take them to their doctor's appointments. That's what we do for our seniors.
All right. Which you said very quickly, but actually, those are huge things. Those are
huge things.
Yeah. And it isn't always that someone needs 24-hour-a-day care in their home. Frankly, they start normally with a smaller amount of care in their home, and that allows them to remain successfully there.
Right. A lot of times they start with 2 to 3 hours a week, and then it turns into 2 or 3 hours twice a week.
Yeah.
They really like the service. They love the assistance. The thing about it is we assist them. So if they want to do their own laundry, we would carry the laundry to the washing machine where they can do their own laundry. We can help with the vacuuming and move things so in case they want to dust. If they have a special antique item that they don't want anyone to touch, maybe they want to move it or they want us to move it, but they can get those things done with assistance. We do meal prep. So a lot of times for people that have issues with maybe their fingers or they have Parkinson's and they shake a little bit, it's not safe for them to be using a big knife, so we can prep their meals for them. We can cook. We can get stuff ready so that they have meals that'll last them a few days.
And in instances where we have a couple, right, husband and wife, sometimes getting that little bit of help in the home will allow both of those loved ones to remain together in their home. And when you have maybe a healthy spouse and more of an infirm spouse, the healthy spouse, their health starts to decline.
Right.
They're trying to care for the unhealthy spouse.
Right.
And it's emotionally draining, physically draining. So
it's so hard being the caregiver, especially
terrible.
When you are older and you're doing all of it. I mean, when you get old, your back starts hurting and you're just not as agile as you were when you were younger. So when you're lifting and pushing and pulling, that's very difficult. Also, it creates tension for that relationship. And that's the last thing you want to do is allow any tension in that marriage. So if we can make life easier for them by being the caregiver and letting that husband be the husband, that is so valuable in their lives.
Of course. Right. And I think what I've learned as an elder law attorney is that as my clients age and their needs change over time, they're afraid to let their family and loved ones know that they need help.
Right.
What they're thinking, their fear is that if I need help, if someone's going to help me, then that means I need to leave my home. It seems to me that with TrueCare Seniors, you're trying to keep them in their homes. So they should not be afraid to ask for the help.
Right. So in a senior's mind, a lot of times if they ask for help, they feel like they're going to lose their independence.
Right.
They're going to be asked to leave the home, to move in with one of their children. The last thing a parent wants is to move in with their child. Yeah. Right. So if we can provide help for them in their home and they can stay in their home longer, everybody's happier, specifically that senior.
And you mentioned about the parent and the child living together. Frankly, when that care is provided in their home, you're allowing the child and parent to enjoy a relationship a parent and child relationship versus a parent and caregiver relationship.
Right. And, you know, I've always said that we were never trained to parent our parent.
Yeah.
We were not prepared for that. So to become the one that's making the decisions and the one that's caring for that person, your parent, it's hard on everybody. You know, mom and dad may not want you to be doing personal care on them. They'd rather have anybody but their child doing that. So our service, we can take that over, and then our clients are allowed to keep their dignity.
Well, I do. That's, Patty, you just said, you used a very important word to me, dignity.
Right.
That is it, that we want them to maintain their dignity. And what I found is that the caregivers are treated differently by the parent than how the parent treats their child if the child is providing the care.
Absolutely. They're less resistant with a caregiver.
Yeah.
Because they look at the caregiver thinking that that caregiver is a professional and that they're there to do that, not to judge.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes they think that their children are going to be like, oh, well, mom hasn't been doing enough of this. She hasn't been doing that. The caregivers never give them any reason to feel like they should have been doing something. And honestly, the children don't either. That's the perception that the senior person has, is that they're going to be judged or someone's going to make decisions for them that they don't want made.
Sure. Well, and that's, again, going back to dignity. When you're speaking with your TrueCare clients, Patty, it's we're meeting them where they are.
Absolutely.
And what level of care do they want and what do they need? So as manager of TrueCare, Patty, how do you first become aware that someone may need help? Is it typically the client reaching out, a spouse, a child?
Well, interestingly, normally it's a child, but lately I've had a lot of spouses reaching out. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's because people are becoming more aware that there is help out there, but when a spouse reaches out, they are kind of at the end of what they can do. They're tired, they're exhausted, they really need help. Mm-hmm. So what we do is I take the phone call, I get the information, I go out, I meet them in their home, I look at the house, I look for some safety issues, sometimes make some recommendations, do an assessment, and we get them scheduled and start getting them a caregiver.
Excellent. So if they do want to reach out to you, Patty, the number at TrueCare is 260-333-6440. That's 260-333-6440. And you're providing care for residents of Allen County, DeKalb County, Noble County, Steuben County, LaGrange County, Whitley County as well.
Yes.
That's kind of your territory.
Right.
We can bleed into Huntington County, but just not as frequently.
Correct.
So after you're starting to help giving that client care in their home, how is it that you determine if their plan of care should be changed?
Our caregivers communicate with us any needs that may change, if there's any decline in someone's health, if things are happening around the house that weren't normal, if their client appears to be hiding things and maybe hoarding things. Sure. That's all trying to hold on to their independence. So the caregivers, they communicate with us in the office. A lot of times I'll go out and do another assessment. If there's a family member involved, depending on the situation, I'll have a conversation with the family member first. But I do always do an assessment. And then a lot of times what we have to do is provide more care. Mm-hmm. So they need more assistance at home.
Sure. So, Patty, let's ask this question. If it no longer makes sense for a client to be receiving care in their home, right? They're going to the point where they're needing, 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day, 24-hour-a-day care, and it becomes very expensive, frankly, at that point. The need for 24-hour-a-day care is there, and it's becoming cost prohibitive. Is this where TrueCare Homes becomes a viable option for your clients?
Absolutely. Our care homes provide 24-hour care. We have 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms in each home. There is always one caregiver, sometimes 2, that are at that house. So Our staff to resident ratio is exceptional. You won't get that anywhere in this area.
1 to 4 or 2 to 4.
Right. Right.
I don't know where else provides
There's
that.
no place.
No
place. So their care, it's very personalized. We do all of the housekeeping, obviously. The meals are cooked fresh every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. They make desserts, cakes, pies, cookies. It's endless. So we have our menus change with the seasons. So we have a spring, fall, winter menu. It's really nice right now. I go to the farmers markets and I get their corn and their green beans and their tomatoes. So they love it. They have a great, great place to live.
And it's comfortable for children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren to come and visit.
Right. We allow everybody to visit. Sometimes we have pets. We've been trying to get a piglet there.
Not to live, just to visit.
Just to visit, just for a visit. But yeah, I hope they hear this and bring the piglet. But anyway, it's a home-like environment. Visitors are allowed to come and go as they please. The residents can leave, go out to lunch. They can go spend the weekend at someone's house if they want to with a family member. So they're very free to still make their own choices.
And is it possible for someone to use the care homes for less than a permanent or ongoing stay?
That is such a great question because we've had such a need for respite care.
What does respite care mean, Patty?
So respite is giving a break to somebody. So the respite care there are so many terms that it's used for. It can be for a family member that's exhausted and they need to get away for, a weekend of just healing, mental healing. So they can go away for a week and we will take care of their family member in our home for that entire time. We do have a 1 week minimum, but we have people that stay there that have been discharged from the hospital, but they're not quite ready to go home yet. That's a very, very successful stay. The best part of those is when they get to go home, because then that shows success not only for my staff, but it's also success for that client that they were able to go home.
Of course. Yeah, respite is, it gives everyone a break, it allows them to reset.
Yes.
And you made a good point. Let's say that you are wanting to go on vacation, but you've been caring for your loved one, and you're responsible for your loved one 24 hours a day, so you can't leave town. This is an opportunity.
That's
for
what we
them.
do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And they know that they're well taken care of. Everybody tours the house, obviously, before they come for a visit. They can talk with our residents, ask them how they like living there. Our residents, I've only heard, it's the best. So they love it. They're very well taken care of. They get a lot of attention. Yeah. We actually spoil them.
Well, with 1 to 4 caregiver to resident ratio, 1 person for every 4 residents, it's all but one-on-one care.
Yeah, they love it.
At a fraction of the cost if you were paying for 24-hour day care in your own home.
The best part of it, Brian, is that those children can rest at night, knowing mom and dad are taken care of.
Yeah, and they get a break too.
Yes, they get a break.
Let me talk about another way that the care homes have been used, and that's for folks that are on hospice.
Yes.
Right. So let's talk about that.
Another valuable service. So we work in conjunction with the hospice providers. So we can move somebody into the care home that needs 24-hour care. Hospice doesn't spend 24 hours with people.
People have this notion, I'm on hospice, I'll have 24-hour day care.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. No. Unfortunately, they're spread pretty thin as well.
Yeah.
So if somebody moves into the care home, they stay with us. We watch over them 24 hours a day. The hospice team, they do their visits sometimes daily, sometimes every other day. It all depends how they're set up. But we provide all of the care in between their visits, and we can assist them as well when they're doing their visit. So if it's someone that's bedbound that needs a bed bath, that allows 2 people to do that instead of 1 person.
Sure. Yeah. I have to say, I don't know that when I originally established those care homes that I recognized how important a part they would play in both respite stays and hospice stays.
And it seems to be growing.
Yes.
It really seems to be growing a lot. Right now, it's hard to have an empty room in our care homes.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of respites, hospice, and of course our regular people that live there.
Right.
So it's definitely a need.
Over the years, how people have become so comfortable with the care homes, I can tell you that we have had Thanksgiving celebrations at the care homes. We've had Christmas celebrations at the care homes. We've had folks that were family members that were going to a wedding, and they came into the home and their regalia. And it's really a beautiful experience and a very nice alternative to a traditional nursing home or frankly, memory care unit. So let's talk about that. So if I have a loved one that maybe is suffering from a type of a dementia, are the care homes appropriate for folks that have some type of a cognitive impairment, a dementia?
Absolutely. The care homes are designed pretty much for people that have dementia, in that the windows, we have locks on all of our windows and the doors. The houses are, well, we have a routine that's very, very important for someone with dementia, that they follow a routine. The routine is a cue. So when you smell bacon cooking, you know it's time to get up. It's time for breakfast. When it starts to get dark outside and you're having dinner, you know it's going to be time for bed. So those are cues. So the schedule is very, very important to somebody with dementia. It's also very important to someone that doesn't have dementia to maybe slow the effects of a dementia that's creeping up on them.
Yeah, excellent. So TrueCare works with clients in Allen, DeKalb, Noble, Steuben, and LaGrange counties. Please give them a call at 260-333-6440, 260-333-6440 to reach out to learn more about their services. You can also check them out online at www.true.care. That's www.true.care. Should you have a need for their services. So, Patty, I know your care providers deliver excellent care to TrueCare for TrueCare clients. When you're looking to hire, what personality type, who is it that's ideal for the role of working with TrueCare?
The ideal candidate is somebody that has a passion for taking care of seniors, is dependable. We will take any age from 18 to 70, even 80. A lot of our clients need companionship. So what better companion do you have for an 80-year-old than an 80-year-old?
Sure.
Right? They have to pass a drug test. We do background checks. They have a minimum. They have to be able to lift 50 pounds. But when you have a healthy 75, 80-year-old, they make a great companion, and yet they still are able to do the light housekeeping and meal prep just like they would in their own home. They do that for their client.
Sure. And we're looking at matching caregivers to client needs and making sure we have an appropriate match.
Right. And, you know, everybody has a personality. So, you know, if we have a caregiver in a certain area that we have a client in that area, and they're going to be a great match because they, first of all, they live close to each other. They have, you know, similar senses of humor or whatever. That's a great match. Also the timing. So if we have the caregiver available in the afternoons and a client that only wants service in the afternoon, that's how we do our scheduling.
Excellent. Do applicants applying for a position with TrueCare, should they have worked in this field before? Do they need to have past experiences or not?
No, as long as they have that passion and they want to take care of people, as long as they have a caregiver's heart, we will train them.
So let's talk about that. What type of training for the role of a care provider do you provide? Those that are either new to the field or maybe have been trained somewhere else. What's the training process look like?
Our training process starts in the office with just regular skills trainings. They learn how to lift someone with a gait belt. They learn how to put somebody in a wheelchair out of a bed. That's called transferring. We show them how to turn someone, to change an adult brief if it's somebody that can't get out of bed. We're CPR first aid trained. Then we have our online training where they learn all kinds of skills. So we even have skills anywhere from what cleaning products to use, training, what cleaning products to use where, as far as learning how to do wound care, which we don't do, but we do have that training. So our staff can recognize a wound,
Right.
and when it needs help.
I like to think of the attendants are the hands. They are the hands physically doing the work for someone that can no longer do the work for themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
They don't express a medical opinion. They don't, they're not going to tell them, oh, this is what's going on with you. That isn't their job. Is to observe, to relay that information to you so that that information can be relayed to the family. So if we see a change in someone's condition, if we see a change in someone's demeanor, if we see someone being lethargic or they're not eating, we're going to relay that information to the family.
Right. And that's a great point. So we don't manage their medical or their healthcare condition. That's what home health or their physician or sometimes their family, they manage that stuff. We manage their personal care. So if they have a healthcare issue that the caregiver is seeing, sometimes even the family member will call me and ask. So I'll refer them to their doctor, to their home health agency, whoever it is that's managing their medical and healthcare condition at the time.
Excellent. How is it that TrueCare works with like a home health agency or a hospice agency? Is it one or the other? Do we work together? How does that process work, both in the client homes and then in the care homes?
So it's actually the same in the client home or in the care home. Those agencies, the home health, the hospice, they come to the home, whether it's their home or our home. And it's a team approach. So it's great continuity of care. It's really nice having that extra set of eyes and hands looking in on our clients, on our residents. I like to think that we take great care of our people, but sometimes just having that nurse in the house one day a week, it's a really nice advantage for us.
Most definitely. And my impression has been in the care homes, when you have hospice nurses visiting or home health visiting, they appreciate having 1, 2, 3, 4 clients in one location.
Oh, absolutely.
It's such good, efficient use of their time.
Yes, we have, in one house, we have one nurse that sees 3 clients. She loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it. It's one stop for her.
Well, and she gets to know them, in this instance, even more intimately.
Well, and even more importantly is the clients know her because they see her there.
Right. It's comfortable for them.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah,
they love
for sure.
it.
And for the family as well.
Right.
So when is there some type of journaling that goes on in the care homes? Is there some type of accounting for what services were provided when the care providers are in the field to the client's personal home? How does that work in both instances?
In the care homes, we do actually have journals for all of the clients. For the home care part of it, they do their documenting on their app on their cell phones. It's all computerized, and I can look in the app and see what tasks have been done, what tasks haven't been done. It's a good way. It's a good check and balance system so that we know that things are being done. We also have a staff member who is our field support staff, and she does pop-in visits to make sure that things are the way they're supposed to be, that our caregivers are in uniform, they have their name tags on, they look professional, they're taking good care of their clients. Also, that staff member is there to answer any questions that whether it's the client or the staff member, if they have any questions about anything, any concerns.
Great. And I'm sure they appreciate the support, both the family and the caregiver.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So if anybody is interested in learning about TrueCare, TrueCare Seniors for care in your home or wherever you're living, or about the care homes for a longer-term stay, there's a dementia or some type of a memory care issue for a respite stay or hospice stay, please reach out to TrueCare at 260-333-6440. 260-333-6440. Or if you're an individual that feels that, gosh, this Patty has said something to me, it's touched me, and I think I would be a good fit as an employee of TrueCare, even if I don't have the skill set, we'll train you to do that. Go ahead and please reach out to Patty, 260-333-6440. So next, Nugen Law represents clients in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida. Please call Nugen Law at 260-925-3738, speak with one of our intake specialists, and schedule a meeting for either our Fort Wayne or Auburn locations. You're also encouraged to see us online at www.nugenlaw.com, or send us an email at help@nugenlaw.com. Our time is running short and we need to wrap up our discussion. Thank you for listening to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law, and to our guest, Patty McGill, manager of TrueCare. I look forward to speaking with you again next Saturday at 9 a.m. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.
You've been listening to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. For more information, log on to nugenlaw.com or email help@nugenlaw.com. Nothing stated in today's program should be considered as legal advice, should not be considered as having created an attorney-client relationship between show host and guests and any listener. Nugen Law is not liable for anything that happens as a result of a listener relying on provided information as legal advice. The content is for informational purposes only.
Podcasts by Federated Media.